Another air-related death in New York. All right. This is kind of an updated article from the original I looked at. The dead in upstate New York plane crash included 2022 NCAA Woman of the Year and family members. This is the woman right here, and we'll play this news clip.
We're learning more tonight about the victims on board that small plane that crashed upstate New York. Authorities kept cameras away from the crash site, but you can see some first responders at the scene today. The private plane crashed just after noon in a muddy field near Copeg, killing all 6 people on board. The victims include Karina Groff, a former MIT soccer player who was recently named NCAA Woman of the Year, and her family members. Officials say they were all heading to the Catskills to mark a 25th birthday and the Passover holiday. The NTSB says the plane left Westchester Airport and crashed about 10 miles from Columbia County Airport at what appeared to be a high rate of descent.
When a crash occurred in what we would call a flat agricultural field. The scene is approximately 100 yards in length, with the aircraft being compressed, buckled, and embedded into the terrain.
The cause of the plane crash is still under investigation.
The cause of the crash still under investigation, of course, right? And we've had a lot of these tragedies lately where there's been some notable people, okay, that were in the aircraft carriers as they went down. So there we go. So the private plane crashed in upstate New York over the weekend, was carrying 6 members of a close-knit family of physicians and distinguished student athletes on a trip to the Catskills for a birthday celebration and the Passover holiday. If you don't know Catskills, I'll go ahead and show you now. A mountain belt in New York State, okay? But Karina Groff, the former MIT soccer player and named 2022 Woman of the Year, her father, a neuroscientist, Dr. Michael Groff, her mother, Dr. Joy Sinai, urogynecologist, her brother, Jared Groff, a 2022 graduate of Swarthmore College who worked as a paralegal, Alexia Cuatas Duarte, who is Jared Groff's partner, who also graduated Swarthmore and planned to attend Harvard Law School this fall, and Karina Groff's boyfriend, James Santoro. So 6 people, okay? And isn't that strange, because we just had 6 people killed, including a family of Spanish tourists in an NYC sightseeing helicopter as it plunged into the Hudson River. So we get another 6 here now. Okay? And we get New York again. And isn't this amazing? Because they're on their way to a Passover celebration and a birthday celebration. I don't know whose birthday, but that doesn't surprise me. But look at this. On a trip to the Catskills for a birthday celebration and the Passover holiday. Look, when I look into the Passover, and let me show you again on Google what is a Passover.
Here's the definition of Passover: the major Jewish spring festival which commemorates the liberation of the Israelites from Egyptian slavery, lasting 7 or 8 days from the 15th day of Nisan.
All right. Wow, that's interesting. Nissan? Because this is a Mitsubishi plane. But look, the major Jewish spring festival which commemorates the liberation of the Israelites and Egyptian slavery, lasting 7 or 8 days from the 15th day of Nisan. And this is a freaking Mitsubishi plane. But look at that. It says 6 traditional items on the cedar plate, which I guess is I think that's cedar, which is the Passover plate. Look at this right here. 6 traditional items. Isn't that amazing? I don't know if these picks, they have salt water in there, which makes that list 7, which I guess wouldn't be on the plate, right? But these 6 items, I don't know if these are exactly those 6 items. I didn't stop and do the research on all 6 individually. But look at that, the 6 traditional items on the plate, the Passover plate. Look at that. And there's 6 killed. And they're on the way to celebrate Passover. And then we get the 6 here again with this other trending story. You can go check that out. It's on my channel here. NYC sightseeing helicopter plunges into river. So you get double 6s, and I guess you could say 3 6s there with that connection. Wow, right? And look at Karina Groff here. Look at her numbers in this code completely match up with the incident, okay? Look at, that's the name of the plane, a twin engine Mitsubishi MU-2B. You see it right there? Copy and paste 116 like Karina Groff. And she and these family members die, okay? In that plane. Look at that. 116. That's ABC 123. Look at the reverse cipher. Z would be 1, A would be 26. You just apply the numerical value to her name here to the letters. 208 like New York plane crash. Talk about targeted, right? You see right in the title, New York plane crash. You even get 64. Well, that's with her first name and first and last name. Look at over here to the, so look at these 208s. New York plane crash, Karina Goff. That's like 28. Even Karina's got that 28, and New York plane crash has that 82. The same numbers. You see that? Just without that 0. Check that out. The fact that it syncs up with this plane and what the plane is, twin engine Mitsubishi MU-2B, that's something else, okay? Check it out. You also get 140 with the name of the plane. She's a former MIT soccer player 140, airplane 140. Have you caught by now that the name's interesting? And she has a brother named Jared Groff. Makes me think of Jared Goff, football quarterback, NFL. Notice how he's got the 16 that he wears on his jersey. That's, I don't know, like a practice shirt or whatever. I don't know. Or he's at some kind of event. Not sure. But notice how he wears the 16. This plane crash was on 4/12, April 12. Right here. 4 plus 12 is 16. You even get another 16 date numerology up above with the date. and 61. Look at the 14 and the 41 date numerology on this crash. He's born on the 14th, Jared Goff. And again, that's like Jared Groff, who is her brother, right? Groff like Goff. This stuff is all with the language. I'm not sure necessarily which one's her brother. Maybe that looks like it might be his brother over there, maybe. Her brother. That may be her father. That may be her mother, possibly. But then there's two others. Unless that's her brother's girlfriend. It kind of looks like her mom, though. Anyways, that's all besides the point right now. Okay? Jared Groff, her brother, and his partner. So I don't know. And you see, that's her throwing out the first pitch right there. Our main character, Karina Groff here. I think that's like a Red Sox game or something. But Jared Goff, okay, and you get the same numbers. Notice the 14 and the 41 real quick on the date numerology. And Goff, born on the 14th, those numbers are connected with 9/11, and they've been popping up, all right? And look at this. Airplanes equals 41. Airplanes equals 41 in the reduction cipher. There's only 4 base ciphers I use to show you this. Look at the date numerology on 9/11/2001. Air-related incidents, right? Tragedy. Look at 41 and 14 date numerology there. Check that out. Okay? Not a coincidence. Okay, so moving forward. The twin-engine plane went down shortly after noon Saturday in a muddy field in Copake, New York. If that's how you pronounce it, I know how to spell it. Copake's got the 111 like New York. And when I was typing that in earlier, doing the breakdown, getting it set up, I'm like, geez, are we going to get more 111s? And immediately another 111. New York's the 11th state. Look at even Passover equals 101 like 11. Again, they were on the way to a birthday celebration and the Passover holiday to celebrate. Passover's got 101 like 11. Yeah, don't forget New York's the 11th state. 9/11 back in 2001 left 111 days in the year. And there's a lot of 11s that were connected to that tragedy, but we get more 11s in here. And that's just how it is, all right? Even Passover, P is the 11th letter in reverse when you reverse the alphabet. That's interesting. Going forwards, K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. And this female's name is Karen or Karina. Wow, on the fly. Again, named the 2022 NCAA Woman of the Year. So there might be something to the professions of or the job descriptions or whatever you want to call it of her family members here and the people connected. Neuroscientist, urogynecologist. There may be something there. And I mentioned earlier that a lot of these notable people have been passing because the 6 people dead in this other helicopter sightseeing crash, these were some main players on the world stage too. RIP to the 3 children. But the husband and wife, the husband was like an executive with the company Siemens. Again, I'm not even sure if that's how you pronounce it, but you can go check that breakdown out. Okay, so some major at least notable characters on the world stage. Remember the figure skating uh people that died in that crash a couple months ago. I think it was a DC crash, but there were some famous figure skaters that passed on that in that one. Okay, so this is happening. This is becoming a trend now. Even twin engine Mitsubishi MU2B 116 with Karina Groff, that's even like 16 with the Jared Goff connection, as he wears that 16 on his jersey, right? Okay, and look, there's another. We had 11s, and you see, we had 111s in that helicopter sightseeing tragedy just 2 days before this one. Okay, and notice how that was on April 10th. 410 is like 41, right? You see how it comes together. But New York again, you see right there, 111 like helicopter. So you're gonna get these 11s that connect with these aircraft carrier tragedies with New York. See that? And that left 111 days in the year. I mentioned earlier 9/11. You see, you have 39 date numerology with that one, and New York and NYC equal 39. So Groff grew up in Weston, Massachusetts, was an All-American soccer player studying biomedical engineering. Okay. It says Santoro, a math major from New Jersey. I don't know what Santoro, what they're referring to there. But this whole thing's related to Karina Groff. And look at it says Santoro, a math major from New Jersey. Again, I'm not sure who Santoro is, but look at how New Jersey even equals 119. Right there. You see that? Like the 11th day of the 9th month. Wow. I want to try to find out who Santoro is, but look, whoever that is, was that someone else on the plane? But whoever they are played lacrosse for the school during the C-19 pandemic. Look at that. So even 19, like 119, like the 11th day of the 9th month with that tragedy. And look at even chaos equals 19. You see that right there? And it says Karina Groff co-founded Open PPE, helping to create a new design of masks for essential workers. But you get these 19s again, right? Let me look. Let me see. Who's Santoro? Let me put Santoro and Groff. I don't know. See what happens. Oh, it says who were Karina Groff, Michael Groff, and James Santoro. So maybe they explain that with the details of these characters. Oh, I got to click on the right article. So let's see. Was that a boyfriend or something? I don't see a Santoro. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, that's her boyfriend, okay? James Santoro. That's Karina Groff's boyfriend, okay? So he's a math major from New Jersey, and you see the connections there, all right? Amazing. Now, so look at all of this stuff that's trending right now in the numbers. And again, even New Jersey equals the date of the crash, the 12th day of the 4th month. New Jersey 124. Dude's a lacrosse player, the boyfriend. Lacrosse equals 124. And the Masters tournament is going on, or it might have ended by now. It ended. Golfing equals 119. So you see how the same numbers with these other stories all connect here? The George Washington Bridge, remember the sightseeing helicopter crash? It was saying that was like a common destination, as well as the Statue of Liberty. George Washington Bridge has the 124. And again, this tragedy on the 12th day of the 4th month, 124. Even Osama bin Laden, who was accused for masterminding the 9/11 event, Osama bin Laden's got 47, Passover 47, New Jersey 47, Pandemic's got 43 like New Jersey. You see that? Golfing's got 43. So all of this stuff, Passover, George Washington Bridge, all of this stuff in the news lately, and we get lacrosse, the Masters tournament. You see all within the numbers here. Let's look at let's just go look at some pictures again here. So you see her with her boyfriend right here. You see her throwing out the first pitch there. I think they said that was like a Red Sox game. And okay, so that's her boyfriend. So I can't tell. That's her boyfriend, and I'm assuming that's her and her mom and her father. So her brother Jared Groff, I guess, would be unknown. And I think they said his girlfriend as well. And okay, so maybe that's him. I don't know. Again, we get a lot of players on the world stage with the same names. So I'm not sure. But again, Karen is the main player, and they're saying they don't know how or why this plane went down. Here she is playing soccer right here. Okay. She's got the 24 on the jersey there. I didn't really catch anything with that. But again, we have a lot of information, okay? So let's play this video clip.
Tragic update on yesterday's small plane crash in upstate New York. The NTSB confirmed.
Man, even the time and the temperature here connects. Look at it, 6:04 on the news clip. Okay? 6:04 is like 64, right? Karina Groff equals 64. Even her first name Karina equals 64. You see that? And you get 6:04 on the time. This happened, I mean,
Tragic update on
damn.
yesterday's small plane crash in upstate New York. The NTSB confirming that all 6 people on board that plane died. That is 5 passengers and the pilot. The Federal Aviation Administration says the Mitsubishi MU-2B aircraft crashed in a field just after noon in Copake. That's about a 2-hour drive north of Manhattan. Officials say the aircraft was headed to Columbia County Airport in Hudson. Reports say that plane was carrying.
And you even remember the helicopter crash in the Hudson River. With that other story.
Aircraft was headed to Columbia County Airport in Hudson. Reports say that plane was carrying a close-knit family of physicians and student athletes, including Karina Groff, a former MIT soccer player, recently named the NCAA Woman of the Year.
Two Town Road, this was a twin engine. Think about Two Town. What else has double T's? Twin Towers. T, the 20th letter of the alphabet. Like 2, right?
Named the NCAA Woman of the Year. Karina Groff, a former MIT soccer player, recently named the NCAA Woman of the Year. We expect the NTSB to hold a press conference at any moment. We're going to bring you those updates as soon as we get more details.
Damn right. So yeah, I mean, once again, man, I try to make these not so long, but it's like nearly impossible, you know. We have to cover this stuff. Even April 12th, the 102nd day of the year, 102 is like 12. Brother. And I will mention that this is 152 days before the 9/11 anniversary. Okay, it's the 24th anniversary of the 9/11 tragedy. And she did have that 24 on her soccer jersey that I saw, y'all. And the date, the 12th day of the 4th month. So 1, 2, 4. There's definitely going to be some things left out on the table, some leftovers on this breakdown. Wow, even soccer player, twin engine Mitsubishi MU2B, an airplane, all 140, those are like 14. With the 14 and 41 date numerology. And again, Jared Goff, born on the 14th. And her freaking brother's name is Jared Groff. I can't get over it. I knew right when I read the name, I'm like, oh God, here we go. And the 6 items on a traditional plate for Passover is absolutely amazing. And again, I don't know if those pictures exactly match up. I was seeing some other options as well, but that's just an example. Wow, with 6 dead and following up this other 6 dead on the helicopter crash. Jeez. And they're saying they don't know how or why, of course. But some notable members taken off the world stage here. All right. And I don't know if they say whose birthday they were going to celebrate. Investigators expect to be at the crash site for about a week, and a full accident report could take between 12 and 24 months to complete. It said the pilot was following the rules, the flight rules. That's good, right? So, yeah, there's going to be more within this article, but we're not going to go over everything. I think we covered the main points here. I showed you some of these connections, which are pretty undeniable. I mean, she syncs up with the crash and the language, even the name of the plane. All right. So that'll be if there is something I missed, I apologize. Let me know. If there's any real people out there. The dead in upstate New York plane crash included 2022 NCAA Woman of the Year and family members. Okay. Why and are they gonna, real quick before we go, if you're still there, why is she named Woman of the Year? Can we get like a more specific answer here? Let me ask Google. Why was Karen Groff Woman of the Year? Oh, just for her on and off the field accomplishments and okay. And she co-founded the Open PPE, helping create a new design for masks for essential workers. Okay, so stuff like that. Okay. Daily Decodes 812. This is Math Tucon. Shout out to y'all. Until next time. RIP again.